Hi everyone, welcome back to my classroom. This classroom is for the SAT math. Today's topic is ratio problem and direct variation and inverse variation problems. Let's just start from ratio problem. What is the ratio? Ratio because A to B is equal to C to D problem. A to B is equal to C to D. Okay, first to make that ratio equation, you have to be careful. A and C should be same kind of value, and then B and D has same kinds of value. For example, if A is length and B is weight, C should be length, D should be weight. Sometimes kilogram to gram, that is equal to kilogram to gram. Centimeter to kilogram, that must be equal to centimeter to kilogram. Okay, so always A and C should be same kind of value, B and D should be same kind of value. And then how to solve this problem? Okay, change just a ratio to fraction. What is A to B is equal to? A to B is equal to A over B. If we change the A to B to fraction form, that's going to be A over 2. So A over 2 is equal to C over D. And then you can use cross multiplying, right? So AD equals BC. And then you can solve normal equation. Another type of ratio problem is three ratios, ratio of three values. Okay, I'm going to explain that with examples. If A to B is given, A to B is 3 to 5, and then B to C, 3 to 2. And then ask you, what is A to C? It's a ratio problem with three values, A, B, and C. To solve this problem, you make just one ratio with the three values A to B to C. I show you how to. A to B to C. The A to B is 3 to 5, right? So this is 3 to 5. And then B to C is given, which is 3 to 2. So 3 to 2. Which one is common value given? B is given for both ratio, right? 5 and 3, and it makes just the least common multiple of those two numbers, those two values of B, 5 and 3. What is that? 15. So you can make 15 here. So how can you make 15 from 5? You multiply it by 3 at 5. That's why you have to multiply it by same number 3 at 3. That is 9. And then now, think about 3 to 2. How can you make 15 from 3? You multiply it by 5, right? 3 times 5 is 15. That's why you multiply it by 5 at 2, which is 10. So ratio of three values A to B to C is equal to 9 to 15 to 10. So what is the answer? It asks you A to C, so 9 to 10 is the answer. Let me introduce another type of SAT problem, the ratio problem. Three people just invested for their business. They made a business and then they invest the business. The ratio of 3 to 4 to 6. And then they promised if they make profit, they have to distribute that profit with the same ratio that they invested, 3 to 4 to 6. And then their company made actually $26,000 profit. It is A to B to C. Okay. A invest money 3 out of 13. B invest money 4 out of 13. C invest 6 out of 13. Why 13? Because sum of all these number 13. And the question asks you, investor A, how much investor A can get from $26,000 profit? Because he invested 3 out of 13, so he can take 3 out of 13 of $26,000. So 3 out of 13 times $26,000. It can be canceled out. 13 times 1, 13 times 2, 2,000 times 3 equals $6,000. It is a ratio problem in SAT. I'll start variation problem now. Two different types of variation we have, right? First variation problem is about direct variation problem. The problem says like this: y is directly proportional to x. Y is directly proportional to x. Or you can say y varies as x. That means x and y and x, they have direct variation relation. So you can use two different ways. The first way, we call that direct variation equation. You can use direct variation equation, which is y equals k times x. If y is directly proportional to x, or y varies as x, you can use this equation y equals kx. This is direct variation equation. And then what is the step to solve this problem? Find k first. The first step you have to do is find what? K value first. And then by plugging the information given, after you found the k value, and then find the answers they ask. Okay, another way to solve direct variation problem, you can use a ratio equation. Something like this. If y equals k times x, what is k equals? K equals y over x, right? So y1 over x1, that should be always equal to y2 over x2, because k is constant. It's not a variable, right? So y over x should be constant. So there are one x values given and one y values given usually. That is x1 and y1. And then another x or y is given, and then find the missing value, the other value. There's x, y2. Okay, so I'll give you some examples about that. So I'm going to give you y, if y is directly proportional to x, and then it says when x equals 5, y was 12. When x equals 5, y was 12. Okay, and then find the value of x. What is the value of x when y is equal to 3? I want to use both ways. If I use direct variation equation, just plug in 5 for x and 12 for y in this equation. So the equation is going to be 12 is equal to k times 5. So what is k? Find the k first. 12 over 5. So can you use that 12 over 5 for k, right? So that equation actually y equals kx gonna be 12 over 5x. And then they ask you x value when y equals 3. So that's why I plug in 3 for y and then find the x value. So what is x equals? 3 times reciprocal of 12 over 5, which is 5 over 12. So 15 over 12. So 3 times 5, 3 times 4. So your final answer is 5 over 4. And I can use the ratio equation, y1 over x1 is equal to y2 over x2. It is easier many times. So I show you how to solve the problem with this method. So y1 over x1, that means this is y1, this is x1. So y1 over x1 means 12 over 5. That supposed to be equal to y2 and then 3. And you can find x2. So just do cross multiplying. 12 times x equals 15. So what is x equals? 15 over 12, which is 5 over 4. So I found the same answers. Okay, let's go to next. Next is inverse variation problem. Inverse variation problem. To solve inverse variation problem in SAT, still you can use it two ways. Same as direct variation problem, we have two different ways. The first way is the same as direct variation problem. We can use inverse variation equation, which is y equals not kx anymore. That was direct variation equation. Inverse variation equation is y equals k over x. K over x. Okay, and then same thing. Just find the k value first by using given information. After you find the value of k, and then you can find that answers. Okay, Another way is what? Just solve for k this equation, k equals what? xy. So xy is always constant, k is constant. So you can use this. x1 times y1 is equal to x2 times y2. Let me give you an example, and I'm going to solve that example using both ways. If y is inversely proportional to x, or y varies as x, and when x equals 6, y was 4. And then find x value if y equals 8. Okay, it is very easy problem, right? Because they have inverse variation relation, you can use inverse variation equation, which is y equals k over x. What was the first step? You have to use a given number x equals 6 and y equals 4 into this equation. So 4 equals k over 6. Then what is k? K is 4 times 6, which is 24. We just found 24. Okay, so you can use y equals 24 over x now, right? And then you have to find the x value when y equals 8. So plug in 8 for y, and then find x times x times x. You cancel out. So 8x equals 24. So what is x equals? 24 divided by 8, which is 3. We can find the same answer using x1, y1 equals x2, y2 equation. It looks easier, right? Just this is given to x and y value x1 and 1, that is 6 and 4. So 6 times 4 is equal to, we have to find x when y equals 8. So that x is x2, and that 8 is y2. So x times 8. Let's try 24 is equal to 8x. And then you can divide by 8 both sides. And then you can find the x value, which is 3. Okay, so you can use both ways for direct variation problem and inverse variation problem. I'll solve some SAT problems, not much, 3 or 4 problems from now with me. Let's go. Horsepower and watts are units of measure of power. They are directly proportional such that 5 horsepower is equal to 30 watts. How much power in watts is equal to 2 horsepower? I want to use both ways because it's the first problem, right? So number 1, I can use direct variation equation because it says they are directly proportional. So y equals kx. Suppose horsepower is x and then watts is y. Then plug in those given information. So what is that? 3730 watts is equal to k times 5. So what is k? You have to divide by 5 divided by 5. So value of k is equal to 746. Because we found k now, we can use that number y equals kx was equation, and k is 746, so 746x. Then we have to find how much power in watts. Watts was y, that means find y value when x equals 2. So plug in 2 for x, and then y is what? 746 times 2. That is equal to 1492. That's the answer. Let me use a different way. y1 over x1 plus b equal to y2 over x2 in direct variation problem. So y1 is 3730, that over x1 is 5 is equal to y2, I don't know what is that, over 2. So you can do cross multiplying. So 3730 times 2, that equals 5y. So y is equal to 3730 times 2 divided by 5, which is 726 times 2, so 1492. Next problem. Plant A is currently 20 centimeters tall. Then plant B, that's plant A. Plant B is currently 12 centimeters tall. 20 and 12. The ratio of heights of plant A and plant B is equal to the ratio of heights of plant C to plant D. Is a ratio problem, right? So plant A to plant B's height is equal to C to D. What is A? What is B currently? 22, 12. 22, 12. That is equal to C to D. C is 54 centimeters. So C is given. 54 centimeters to height of D. So I told you can change the ratio to fraction. So A to B is A over B, so it's 20 over 12. That must be equal to 54 over D. And then you can use cross multiplying. So 20D is equal to 54 times 12. And then divide by 20, divided by 20 to find the D. So now 2 times 10, 2 times 6, then 2 times 5, 2 times 3. Okay? So that is 162 over 5. So 32.4. A is the answer. A quality control manager at a factory selects 7 light bulbs at random for inspection out of every 400 light bulbs. And at this rate, same rate, the ratio problem, right? How many light bulbs? X light bulbs will be inspected if the factory produced 20,000 light bulbs. So 7 to 400. Okay, number of light bulbs. Okay, for inspection too. Number of light bulbs actually they produced. That's 7 to 400. That equals X to 20,000. So change to fraction, 7 over 400 is equal to X over 20,000. And you can use what? Cross multiplying. So 400X is equal to 7 times 20,000. And then divide by 400 to both sides. Cancel out. So 20, 20. 4 times 1, 4 times 50. So X equals what? 7 times 50, which is 350. It's a very simple ratio problem. Let's go to the next problem. Question 4. The amount of money a performer earns is directly proportional to. The amount of money is directly proportional to number of people. The performer earned actually $120 at performance when 8 people attend. There are 2 ways, but I want to use a ratio y1 over x1 equals y2 over x, because x and y have direct proportion relation. So I can make equation. What is y1? What is x1? 120 is y1, and then 8 is x1. I let the amount of money the person earns is y value, and the number of people attend x value. So he got $120 for 8 people. So 100 over 8. That is equal to how much money? So x dollars if 20 people attend. That's the equation, right? And the cross multiplying. 8x equals 0, 0, 24. And then divide by 8. Divided by 8. So x equals $300. So C is the answer. Okay, ratio problem, direct variation problem, inverse variation problem. Ratio problem usually A to B equals C to D problem. Change A over B equals C over D, and then do cross multiplying. That is the basic way to solve the problem. And then direct variation problem is y equals kx equation. You can use that equation, or you can use y1 over x1 is equal to y2 over x2 to solve inverse variation problem. What was the equation? Y equals k over x was the equation. Or you can use x1, y1 equals x2, y2. It's all about this topic today. I'm done today. Thank you so much for watching my video. And then please just hit notification and then subscribe and like, because I'm gonna post every single week at least 1 or 2 videos for you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.